Welcome to Nomads, No Worries.
Good evening, Steve. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I landed safely in Mexico, in Cancun over the weekend. Took me a while to get here with all the winter weather in the US. Um, Stayed in Kansas City like 4 extra days and then stayed in Dallas like 3 days. But we finally made it. We're here. I'm looking at the beautiful Caribbean and I'm just happy to be here.
Got your fill of the middle of the country. Now you're eating tacos. How many tacos do you think you've had?
I've literally had them for every meal since I've been here.
Every single
So
one?
every single meal, lunch and dinner. Usually like three, maybe four tacos per meal. So over the course since I've been here on since like Saturday, so whatever that math ends up being. But yeah, I've probably had like 30 tacos or so.
Do you think that that behavior is going to change at all as you stay in Mexico longer, or do you think it's just going to ramp up? Like right now, you're like 3 to 4 tacos a meal. Like maybe you'll kind of build up some stamina, maybe 7 or 8 by next month. Like,
Yeah, I'm hoping that my stomach kind of expands. Like I think that's what professional eaters do. They train by eating a shit ton of food even when they're not doing competitive eating to get their stomachs bigger so it can fit more tacos. So yeah, hopefully by the time February rolls around, I can fit 7 tacos per meal.
wow. I mean, I believe in you, honestly. I know I've seen you do many wing challenges. I would love to see you do a taco challenge.
I'd love to participate in a taco challenge. I'll try to find one around here. Maybe we can do it when you're in town. Speaking of, when are you coming? Do you know yet?
So I'm gonna come the day before our friend's wedding to stay with you. Hopefully that's okay.
For sure.
So I think that's like the 29th or something. So I'm really excited. 2 weeks until I'm back in Mexico. I'm already kind of in a tropical place, as you can see from my background, but I still am gonna love it. Yeah.
Yeah, you need more Spanish speaking. Actually, I wonder like where you'll hear Spanish more if it's in Cancun or Miami. I almost feel like they they have like the same Spanish speaking rate. And like there's probably like more gringos, like more white people in Cancun than like you'd see in an average day in Miami.
Yeah, I actually feel like that's probably true. There's way more gringos in Cancun. Now, Steve, are you in like a gringo part? Like, I don't even know what the city of Cancun is like. I've only ever been driven to like an all-inclusive hotel where I never left. So maybe you can explain
Yeah,
that.
I'm sort of in the downtown area. It's not super gringo. I feel like it's a pretty local area. Like it is mostly locals around, not too many gringos. I can see the resorts from my window, but they're like out on this island, whereas I'm in the mainland. So I'm kind of in the downtown local area, which is good. It makes me feel like less of a tourist idiot.
Okay, that's cool. That sounds really nice, honestly. You're gonna get. I feel like a lot of people don't see that side of Cancun. They only see that little island. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're like too scared to come over here. But you'll see when you get here, there's lots of good taco joints, obviously, since that's all I've been eating. And yeah, just some fun stuff to do. But there is a mall nearby that has like Chili's, Applebee's, Hooters, all the gringo stuff that you could ever want. So yeah, you can get a kind of taste of both worlds down here.
damn, that's crazy. Hooters? I feel like Mexico loves Hooters. I don't know why, but it seems like every Mexican city I go to has a Hooters. Like, not that I'm like looking for them, but I see it. You know, it's
Right,
very
right.
noticeable.
Dude, and then next door to Hooters, there's a Twin Peaks, which is basically the same thing as Hooters, and they're right next door to each other.
Wait, literally next door?
Literally, like the next door business. So,
They got the whole city, and they just got to put both of them in the same area. I wonder if it's like a zoning thing, like titties are only on allowed on this street. Like,
it could be. It could be. I don't know.
now
Uh,
do they serve tacos in those establishments, you think?
Not any more than they do in the US. Like, they probably serve the gringo style with the shredded cheese and the lettuce. It
Flour.
doesn't, yeah, the flour tortillas. It doesn't look like they serve any authentic Mexican food there, but I haven't gone in to see for myself. So again, that just add that to the list when you get here. You might need to come like a day or two even earlier so we can kind of take care of this whole agenda we're building.
Yeah, we're gonna live vlog from the outside of Twin Peaks and Hooters and see which place has the best tacos in Cancun.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do like a taco review, but just places that aren't known for tacos.
Yes,
So like we'll go to Chili's, we'll go to Hooters. Oh
Jack in the
wow, this is
Box.
actually this is a great idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we
All
go to
right,
all the
we're doing
places
that.
that would probably have shitty tacos.
Yes. Okay. I'm and then we'll go in and we'll be like, we wanted to try tacos in Mexico. So we're here at Twin Peaks
Oh,
trying their
but
tacos.
we're allergic to corn. Do you have flour tortillas?
All right. That sounds like a good time.
That would actually be. We might actually have to do that. Like that would be
No, we're
hilarious.
we're definitely doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Just go taco hopping. We'll just do them all right in a row. So we'll have to build out that stamina to get the 7 tacos in our stomachs.
Yeah, I could see like the Hooters place. They don't have like spicy sauce. They have like buffalo sauce because they're like known for wings. They're like, oh, we're just putting buffalo sauce on these tacos
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, ranch, stuff like that. That sounds great.
Well, that might be the most gringo tortilla you could ever have. Flour tortilla, ranch, unseasoned chicken, shredded craft cheese.
Doesn't
Let's
sound
go.
too bad.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All
Steve, how long
right.
are you staying
Let's
in Cancun?
I'm here until February 15th, and then I'm going to Guatemala for like a week, and then going to Mexico City from there.
Oh,
I'll be
cool.
in Mexico City for a couple months.
Nice. That'll be fun. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to get your Rex for Guatemala. I'm going to Antigua, and I know you've been there, so
Oh, dude, I love that town, honestly. I thought it was a super cute town.
pretty excited. We're gonna climb the volcano and do that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, and see it kind of come out. Yeah, that'll be chill. It's crazy how close the volcanoes are. I swear it's like a little bit dangerous. Like, I don't know.
Probably.
Like, should they have really built a town that close to like a crazy volcano? I don't know, but it's been there for a while, so.
Yeah. Hopefully I survive, but I'm willing to take the risk to see some lava. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
All right. Should we get into our Nomad hack for the day?
Yes.
All right. Today we're talking about luggage. Really exciting topic. We've kind of alluded to this in the past, kind of what we pack in our travels, because I think it is important. We talked about minimalism, kind of touched on that we don't bring a lot of stuff with us. But wanted to go into detail today about what we bring when we are full-time traveling around the world. So for me, I will start off, I travel with one carry-on suitcase and one large backpack and nothing else. No carry-on or no check-in luggage. I never check a bag. Just whatever can fit on the plane with me. And the carry-on and the backpack are both within the European size limitation. So, but my kind of hack for this is that they can each expand. So if I want my carry-on piece of luggage or my backpack to be larger, if I'm not in Europe or somewhere like on an airline that doesn't care, then I will expand them and make them bigger. But the European size limitations for a carry-on, it's like 21 inches by 15.7 inches by 8 inches. So it's a little bit smaller than a typical US carry-on. And then the personal size dimensions for the backpack, this is in centimeters, but it's 35 by 20 by 20 centimeters. But that's all I bring. You know, I get that question a lot. Like, what kind of what does your luggage situation look like? What do you bring with you? I just bring whatever can fit into that rolly bag and my backpack.
Wow, that's kind of cool. It expands. Wait, so does that mean the US has the largest like limits for bags? Airlines?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't think we have. It's definitely not the same standard as Europe. Just everything in Europe, it's kind of like the opposite of Texas. I feel like everything in Europe is smaller. Like everything from like their stores. Like, dude, I went to this liquor store when I was home in Kansas City, like out in the suburbs, and it was huge. Like it was the size of a Walmart, just with alcohol in it. Like I went with my brother to buy some wine, and like they had like sommeliers there that took us around. They're like, "Oh, you want wine from this region?" And like walked us around. It was quite the experience. But I was like, dude, nothing in Europe. There's no store that's this big. Like every store in Europe is like the size of my bedroom typically. So everything's smaller in Europe. I feel like their airplanes are smaller, so they require you to have smaller luggage there. But since I am in Europe quite a bit, I just made sure my luggage would always be able to fit their standards.
Now, Steve, have you ever been like tested where like they got like the thing and they're like, "Hey, you got to put this in the bucket to see if it's too big or not." Like,
I did back in the day, like back in our study abroad days, Jack, like flying on Ryanair and those shitty airlines. I feel like they definitely tested me and charged me money or made me check a bag, things like that. So I kind of learned from that experience, and I was like, I don't want them to fuck with me, so I'm just gonna do whatever fits their fits their sizing.
yeah, you don't want to get shamed these days. What was like it was like the lunk alarm or something for skipping the line. Like they should probably have some similar thing for bag too big. Like,
For
oh,
bad
this
people,
guy's
yeah.
fat. Yeah.
Yeah. The gate lice.
The gate lice. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So ever since then
Yes.
you're like, look, I never want to run into I never want to have to pay an extra $50 at the gate or something. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah. I just set that goal for myself. And really, since I've been nomading, I don't think I've been charged extra at all.
now do you ever feel like you don't have enough space or are you feel pretty comfortable all the time with what everything you're bringing?
I feel good. If I ever run out of space, I just get rid of stuff. Get rid of some shirts that I've been wearing a lot, and they're getting kind of gross because I wear the same clothes over and over again. Like I only have outfits for like a week or two, so I feel like my shirts get kind of ratty like faster than the typical person. Who if you typical person maybe wears a shirt once a month, once every 2 months. I don't even know, but like I'm wearing every shirt like once a week, so I feel like they get kind of weird after some time. So yeah, I just get rid of shit and I just try to be a minimalist, like we talked about on the previous episode. But yeah,
Yeah, that's nice. I feel like I definitely feel that with the extra wear on the clothes, but especially on the shoes. I feel like I don't bring that many different types of shoes because they're big, and so I'm always getting new shoes, like all the time.
that's a good call. Yeah, so for shoes, I bring like one kind of nicer pair and then one for like running, working out, or just every day. So since we have the wedding coming up, I have a pretty fancy pair of dress shoes, which I normally don't have something that fancy. And then I have my running shoes, and then I have flip flops, obviously for the beach. I mean, every nomad needs to have flip flops, so that's my shoe situation. um, but yeah, Jack, what's your luggage situation typically when you're traveling?
All right, well, I mean, I have like one huge backpack. I'm not super sure what you mean by one large backpack, but mine's like a gigantic backpack that opens like a suitcase. Like it doesn't open from the top and you shove stuff in. It's like you unzip it all the way around and you open it up.
Right. Yes, I've seen that. I remember you showing me that. So mine is like a normal backpack that opens from the top, like you would bring to school or whatever. So yours like acts almost more like a carry-on, like a piece of luggage.
Yeah, exactly. Like it packs like a suitcase, but it wears like a backpack. And it's
Right.
got like it's got like straps and stuff if you want to like strap it across your chest or like across your waist. Which, I mean, this is the thing about doing stuff like that. Like, I'm down. Like, it feels so supportive to like strap the chest one. But I don't know. I feel like it kind of looks a little weird, you know? It looks like I'm about to go hiking when really I'm just like in the terminal, like waiting for my gringo taco.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't like. I see people like the backpackers with their giant backpacks, and like I don't know, I don't really like to have that. I'd rather just have my suitcase, and I stay in places for like a month or two at a time, so like I can store my suitcase. If I was moving around more, like every week or so, or every few days, maybe it'd make more sense to have a giant backpack. But I'm okay with my suitcase. I only have to roll it into my Airbnb once. I'm here for a month, and then I'll just pack it up when I leave. But wait, so do you only have that backpack? Is that your only piece of luggage, or do you have like a
Yeah, that's
suitcase or anything?
that's literally my only piece. And
Wow.
I have like a day pack that I like. It's like one of those backpacks that like collapse into a very small thing that I just like attach on a carabiner, and that's like my going to the cafe, going on a hike, that kind of thing. But like in terms of heavy duty equipment, yeah, I only got that large backpack.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I also have a like a drawstring bag. Just like a really tiny, and that thing like can fold up to a very small little square, and I just pack that. And then, so yeah, if I'm going to the beach or whatever, I will, for a day pack, I'll put stuff in there. But wow, you only have one piece of luggage, dude. Like you're more minimalist than I am. That's impressive.
I mean, it gets pretty full, and I've had it for a while, and I've been thinking about like I think I need to just buy a new one. Like I have this I'm starting to have this fear where what if it like bursts when I'm walking around and my stuff goes everywhere? I feel like that could happen.
Yeah, I recently had a suitcase burst. So I had to buy. I just bought a new one like over the holidays, because yeah, I packed it so full. I was bringing back a bunch of stuff from Africa, like a bunch of souvenirs. Like I wanted to buy gifts for my family, and I overpacked that thing, and it like exploded, and the zippers kind of broke. So yeah, it still kind of worked. So I did bring it back from Africa, and it made it. But I was like, I can't risk having this thing like break even further. So I just bought a new one.
So it was breaking while you were packing. It's not like you were in
Yeah.
the airport.
No, it was like while I was packing it, like as I was zipping it up, it just kind of like burst.
Wow. Okay, well that's good it
So
bursted then, you know?
very true. Yeah. And it wasn't too big of a burst. Like I said, it was still usable, but I felt like I should replace it. Yeah.
This is like the Nomad equivalent of like running over a piece of glass like in a car and like popping your tire. You know, it's like, oh, damn, we kind of got a major problem here.
It is like that. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, we don't have cars. Like, I don't have a car. So, yeah, my suitcase is like my car. I'm like, oh, this one needs a new wheel. This one needs a new tire. This one I need to replace a brake light, things like that.
Yeah, this zipper needs some WD-40. Like,
Exactly.
it's not zipping well. Like, we're kind of like mechanics in a way, you know?
Yep. Yep. Maybe some duct tape. Because, I've used some duct tape on my car in the past. I'm not too good for that. So usually just like until the mechanic gets a hold of it, like I've duct taped maybe like a tail light that's falling out. Like I'll duct tape that bad boy.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I've definitely duct tape as well. And this is the thing. This is my I feel like this is like I'm trying to, be introspective here as to why I only have a backpack. And I really
Yeah.
feel like the reason is because I like having my hands free. Like I just like don't want to like I just want to be able to do whatever I want with my hands, even if that's just like look at my phone or like point or something like
Totally. Yeah. Sometimes there's things you got to point at. I definitely understand that. Having a free hand is important. So I totally respect that. Like even if I do have to check a bag, like let's say I'm the one of the last ones on the plane, and they make me check my carry-on, it's
ooh.
kind of nice. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now then, all I have is my backpack. So I'm like, okay, I like having these free hands. You can eat a taco, drink a drink, whatever. So yeah, I do enjoy that. And I will say, if I go on a weekend trip, like when you and I go down to Puerto Escondido when I'll be in Mexico City. Like I'm only bringing a backpack for the weekend trip. I'm definitely not bringing my suitcase for that.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's like a little just a little hop away. It's not you don't need all your stuff. And I love it. I
Yeah.
love it when that happens. Then it's like, wow, now I'm traveling even lighter now.
Yeah, dude, it's great. But yeah, traveling light is it's huge. Like we talked about with the minimalism, like I like having not a lot of stuff. So this is a good way. Just having my two bags. It's a good way to really keep myself in check. Like if those start getting too full, then that tells me I need to get rid of some stuff. And I just never go beyond that. Like I'll never pack. I'll never get a bigger suitcase. I'll never get a bigger backpack. I just pack whatever I can into those spaces.
Yeah, it's funny how like you decide, okay, what shirt am I gonna throw out? Usually it's like I'm picking between like, oh, I bought a I love Mexico City shirt here. Oh, I bought a random shirt from Costa Rica here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I bought this one 3 years ago. I'm throwing this one out to replace it with like a new location shirt that I bought or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah, I'll look at the age of certain things and I'm like, okay, I've had this for 3 years. It's time to go.
Yeah, I've repped Puerto Vallarta for like 3 years in a row. Time to retire it.
The best was those Chiefs shirts that we got that said Puerto Vallarta on them.
I still have mine. I'm gonna bring mine to
Good,
Cancun.
yeah. Definitely bring it down here. But yeah, those are great. I got a lot of comments on those. Like, that's so random. Like, it's a Chiefs shirt. Why does it say Puerto Vallarta on it?
Yeah. In general, though, I do think the NFL travels well. I feel like I always get a lot of comments wearing sports stuff. Maybe it's just like a universally relatable thing around the world. Everyone likes sports, or like a little bit at least.
It totally is. When I meet a new male, like there's always this tension. Like maybe it's like my girlfriend's friend's boyfriend or whatever, and we're going on kind of a double date type of thing. Like we're all hanging out. I'm like, oh hey, I'm Steve. Like who's this fucking guy? And then like it happened the other day in South Africa. We met up with some people, and I was like, all right, what's this guy's deal? And then I'm like, I'm from Kansas City. He's like, oh, Chiefs, yeah. Like I'm a Lions fan. I'm from Detroit, and we just start talking football. And then boom, no more tension. We're instantly friends. Like that's all it took. It's just that common ground.
Yes, yes, and it's just like on your shirt, so you know exactly what to say. You just look. You're like, okay, this guy
Yeah.
likes football.
It reminds me of there's this commercial and there's a dad and a son, right? And they haven't seen each other in a long time and it's kind of awkward. Like you see them, they're like, hey, like they're just now sitting down to hang out and they're like, hey, yeah, how's it going? And it's kind of awkward. And they're like
Yeah.
being all quiet. And then one of them's like, so did you see the game last night? And then they're just like, oh, yeah. And they just start talking like just like they're old pals again. They're just going nuts. That's all it took. So.
It's like I feel like guys are like simple like that in a way.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
remember I was watching some reel that was like how long it takes for a guy to be friends with a new guy at the office, and it's like the first day they nod, the second day they high five, the third day they're like going out for beers. Like that's it. That's like all it takes.
Yeah, it really doesn't take much. We are simple creatures.
Yeah, and that's why we only have one bag. But I will
Yes.
say, now at least for me, like I used to travel with a lot more stuff. It took me just like over time, like changing that. So it's not like, we were like this in the beginning, right, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I've always had my carry-on and my bag like they've gotten smaller. Like my carry-on was bigger. It might have been US size originally, but after I was planning to go to Europe, that's when I swapped it out for the smaller suitcase. So yeah, I've definitely been reducing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I had hit like a inflection point when it was like in Peru and I was just dragging around this gigantic suitcase and we were doing this like multi-city hop on hop off bus tour, and I was like I got to do something else. I am sick of like lugging this suitcase around. It really hit me with the bus stations. I feel like with the airports it's okay, but the bus is a little bit different because you're going to the station. Maybe the station's close enough where you're walking from there. Like, it's not exactly cut and dry.
I will say, dragging my suitcase on like old cobblestone streets and shit, like that's not fun. Or like, the place doesn't have great infrastructure. There's like cracks in the road. You're like dragging this thing over bumps. Yeah, that's not a great vibe. So I'm with you there.
Dude, I feel like that's so hilarious. Like, I remember being in Florence in Rome, and I feel like that's just a classic place where you see
Oh
cobblestone
yeah.
streets and like all these tourists just lugging their suitcases around,
Yeah.
going like 1 mile an hour. First
Yeah,
time
I'm
in
sure.
Europe.
Yeah, I know the locals love that. Just everyone just dragging their shit on their beautiful cobblestone streets that are hundreds, thousands of years old. Yeah, I'm sure they love that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how they got all, weird, is just from American tourists dragging their little rolly backpacks all over that city.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, cobblestone streets and rolly backpacks, which is hilarious, right? They don't go together, but if you just only saw postcards, you would think they would go together. But they don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah. But I mean, it's okay. People live and learn. Um,
So, Jack,
yeah.
what else do you have for the people about your luggage situation? Any tips that you have for keeping that backpack compact?
Okay, so I want to make a one clarification thing, which is I'm not one of those like I'm not wearing like a go hiking in the mountains backpack. Like I'm wearing like a backpack that's designed to travel like not like outdoorsy type of stuff. So I think really the opening it up like a suitcase, but it goes on your back with the support has been amazing for me. I mean, I feel like I can fit so because if you can only open it from the top, right? Sometimes it can be tricky because you kind of got to shove everything down from the top. But when you open it all the way up, you can be more strategic where you put stuff. And so,
Yeah, yeah. Just to clarify, yes, Jack, I've seen your backpack. It's black, right? Like it looks like a suit,
yes.
and it's very square. It looks like a suitcase. It's not like one of those colorful, like I'm going on an adventure, I'm hiking Mount Everest type of backpacks. It's like a classy looking suitcase backpack.
Yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And so yeah, I think it's definitely been the right move. Now I will say this. I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I will. You know, my ex-girlfriend and I, we had the same backpack, right? When we broke up, she threw hers away. So I think she might have not liked it as much as I liked it, but
Okay.
I loved it, and I still do love it. So, I'm just trying to give that other perspective there.
Yeah, I don't know what that tells us exactly. Like maybe she needed more space. Maybe she wanted to switch to the
Literally.
rolly. Yeah, she needed space from you and from the backpack. So, or maybe it was like it reminded her of you, like the backpack. Like every time she saw the backpack, she thought of you, so she got rid of it.
That's why she switched to the Away brand, the Away suitcase. She's like, I need to get away. So, I mean, like that could be it. But I did want to offer, how like Consumer Reports, they kind of offer both perspectives, and I think that's important. Um, I thought about Consumer Reports because my dad still like subscribes to Consumer Reports. I wonder if my backpack has made it on that publication or not.
I've never read it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Um, but yeah, I think now, Steve, would there ever be a situation where you, like, let's say you're 45 with a family traveling, are you going to be able to get away with no checked bags? Maybe not. Like, you might have to do
Probably
something.
not, dude. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like if I have kids or something, like I have like I don't know what babies need, but I feel like whenever people have babies, they got like strollers they got to put on their carry-on, like baby bottles. Like babies take up a lot of space, not themselves, like their bodies are small, but all the shit that they need to stay alive and stay happy, that you might need a carry or a checked bag for that.
Yeah, I would love to interview a mom nomad, a momad.
Oh,
I feel like it'd be really cool to hear what kind of stuff you got to pack. How do you remain light when you're carrying around a baby? Sounds extremely difficult.
dude, I've come across some Nomads on social media, so maybe we'll reach out to one of them and get them on the pod.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Yeah, like what do you got? Like a stroller that like also doubles as like a backpack, maybe? Something like that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's probably some Nomad technology for parents that we're not even aware of yet.
Yeah, like do you know what kind of leaves that you could potentially use in case you run out of diapers?
Yeah, or like, does your suitcase pop open to one of those things where like the stars and the moon hang down and the baby plays with it, and maybe your suitcase doubles as like a baby bed. Like you put your baby in the suitcase and it becomes a little playpen for the baby. I don't know, but we'll find out.
Hopefully there's some ventilation in there, you know? Like,
Yeah, well, I was assuming like you have the suitcase open. You don't
oh,
close
right.
it on the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no clothes in the suitcase on the baby. That was my bad. Why did I even think of that? Yeah.
Do you pack your baby in your carry-on luggage? Do you, They're like, well, it saved me money on a ticket for a person, so I just packed them in my checked bag and we're good to go.
Now, one thing is, right, like, you know, if I pack too much in my backpack, I feel a little back heavy, right? But if I had like a baby backpack where like the baby was on front and my backpack was on back, I feel like they could maybe balance out. Like that could be like a counterweight, you know?
Dude, yeah, that's the best when you see like a dad with like somehow he has like four kids like hanging on him. Like that technology's really come a long way. Like they got a baby on the front, baby on the back. They got like babies in their cargo short pockets somehow. Like it's incredible.
Dude, what is it gonna be like if, you know, you're about to be a new dad and like you think you're gonna have one kid and then all of a sudden you have like quintuplets or something like that? Like that would be a trip. Then you do got to put some babies in your cargo shorts.
Bro, yeah, my friend Luke Steele, so he's a triplet, but his parents were like trying to have kids and they thought that I don't know, they were like having trouble or whatever. And so they adopted a son and then like at the same time the mom got pregnant with triplets. So they basically had four kids at the same time. Yeah, so that's that's great, but they're fine. They're all good. Friends with their family, great people. But yeah, they were all four kind of brought up together, which is wild.
See, that's almost a little bit of a nomad nightmare, you know? Like if you're not on your first kid and all of a sudden you pop out like three, like that can be a budget breaker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, we budgeted for one kid, and now we have three or even four or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Like, does anyone else want? Got a whole litter. It's like you're giving away kittens. Like, we got a litter of kittens over here, but they're just human babies. And people like, okay, you can take this one and this one.
If you don't take them, they're all going to state school, that's for sure.
All right. That's probably enough about luggage and babies for today. Should we move on to our location highlight?
Wait, Steve, I have one more question though to ask.
Yeah.
What do you think is the weirdest thing that you pack in your luggage? Like maybe like thing that you pack that maybe, you know, someone wouldn't think you would pack.
Um, my Roku. That's not that weird though.
It's a good one.
Yeah, we pack a Roku. Okay, I'll tell you what I bring. So,
Okay.
I recently purchased a travel. Is it carbon monoxide? It's a travel carbon monoxide detector. I read
Whoa.
like two. I read like two stories about people dying from carbon monoxide poisoning while they were traveling. And like
What?
those two, but then I read like only 420 people like worldwide die each year of carbon monoxide poisoning, which is super low. Like more people die from like rattlesnake bites and other crazy shit. But like those two news stories were all I needed to hear, especially because I'm moving to a new place all the time. I feel like my odds are higher of being in a place with carbon monoxide issues. So I bought like a tiny little, it's just like a little square, like this big carbon monoxide detector, and it's battery powered. So I just bring it with me everywhere that I go. So that doesn't happen.
So it'll just start beeping if like your Airbnb has too much carbon monoxide in it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's your weird thing that you bring?
Wow, that's actually like a legitimately like a cool thing. Now I feel a little nervous. Like I got to think of something that I bring. Um, I bought these rollerblades and I would love to figure out a way to bring rollerblades around with me.
Just
I
wear
don't know
them on the
how
plane, dude. Just wear them
wear
on
the
the
bla
plane.
wear the
Yeah,
blades on the plane. I mean, that would help me get to my gate faster.
exactly. Or can you remove the wheels from the bottom and like use them as shoes? I don't know. And then pack the wheels in your bag. Is that possible?
Yeah, like you detach the wheels from the boot and then you put it on your backpack.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you should try that out. That's some Nomad tech there, right there.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That's what we do. Nomad Hacks here. So for more Nomad tips, just follow us on Instagram and
Yep,
TikTok, and keep
100%.
listening to our podcast.
Okay, I think we covered this.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
All right.
So we're doing a
Um,
location highlight now, Steve?
yeah, so I got one. It's a place that I spent good amount of time in. I think I was there for a couple of months, and that is Bocas del Toro, Panama. Now, what is that? So, Bocas del Toro is an archipelago, which is a group of islands. That's what an archipelago is. This is located on the Caribbean coast of Panama. So these islands are in the Caribbean Sea. It consists of 9 main islands, 52 cays, and like hundreds of little inlets. It's pretty well known for these bungalows that are on top of the water. So I actually stayed in one of those. It was this little house that, like, my backyard was literally the Caribbean Sea. Like, my back door just opened up to the Caribbean, and we could just dive in and go snorkeling, like, on our lunch break or whatever. We would just go out and enjoy our backyard.
So you're literally like, you got a patio and you can just jump in the water from your spot.
Yeah, yeah, we have a little back patio, but then that just goes directly into the Caribbean. Yeah.
Wait, but the front side, is there like a road or something? Or like a pier?
Yeah, the front is a road, and you're just kind of in the town. Like the front faces the town, like the main town of Bocas del Toro, and there's a road for cars, whatever, sidewalks. So yeah, front we just go out, enjoy the town, and the back we enjoy the ocean.
Wow, okay. I love that vibe.
So what else?
Did you
There's
have like a
another
boat?
island.
Do you have
What's
like a
that?
little do you have like a little boat, like a little rowboat in the back too? I feel like that would be really
No,
cool. Okay.
we had some floaties.
Okay.
But there were water taxis everywhere. So the main island is the only island in Bocas del Toro that allows cars. All the other islands, like the 8 other islands, have no cars. So everyone takes water taxis. So the water taxis could pick me up at my spot, drop me off, and just take me to all the other islands. So I would go over to Isla Bastimentos, which was famous for its tiny red poison dart frogs. So there's a beach there called Red Frog Beach, great for
Cool.
surfing. That island also has a beach called Polo Beach, and it's named that because there was this guy named Polo. They say that he ran away from the main town on the main island, Boca's town, like when he was like a young guy. And he
Okay.
was just like, fuck that. He's like, fuck this. I want to go just like live on my own island, on my own beach. So he built a house on this beach on a neighboring island. And his house is still there. He still lives there. He's like an old man. He's like an old hermit. But the beach is named after him now. It's called Polo Beach. And we went there. We saw his house. He wasn't home. Polo was not, but yeah, he's still out there.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Ran away from home, became famous.
Yeah, dude, famous in Bocas. And yeah, but the whole town, Bocas Town on the main island, is really catered to travelers and nomads. You know, there's lots of hostels, lots of co-working spaces. Just kind of has that vibe. Lots of bars, definitely a lot of partying and nightlife. But yeah, it's a super fun place. I felt very safe there. Good mix of cultures. There's indigenous people. There's Latino influences. There's Afro Caribbean influences. On one of the islands, like it's just only Afro Caribbean people who live there. So yeah, they're kind
Wow.
of yeah. So there's a lot of different vibes there. But yeah, lots of beautiful untouched beaches when you go around to the different islands. Like some of them are pretty deserted and not a lot of people live there or no people live on some of the islands. So it's a really beautiful place. Um, let's see. Oh, one of the beaches is called Starfish Beach because there's just starfish all over the place. That
Okay.
was a really cool spot.
Wait, Steve, I got a question. I got a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So what happens if you're on one of these remote islands and you need to get back? Like, is there like cell service? Like, how do you call a water taxi or like what do you do?
Um, there's usually like a time when a water taxi comes there.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're
So like a
kind of on
water
a
bus
schedule. Yeah,
almost.
yeah, it's kind of like a water bus. Yeah, so there's a schedule, or you could pay a guy to wait and just it's not that expensive. So like if we went somewhere super remote, like that doesn't have the like on the clock service, we
Uh-huh.
would just pay the dude for his time and he would just wait for us there.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. You just got to
Yeah,
do a little bit of
yeah.
planning ahead.
Yeah, just a little bit of planning. But yeah, sometimes like the guy would just wait the whole time and he would just hang out on the beach. Like we'd be walking around the beach. We're like, wait, wasn't that our taxi driver? Oh yeah, he's having a good time, getting paid.
It's like today I'm going to the beach too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Starfish Beach. There's starfishes everywhere. That was a really good spot. There's also a floating bar. So there's just a bar that's out in the middle of the ocean. You definitely need to take a water taxi there.
Oh, okay.
So that was fun. One thing that I'll say was not great was the weather in Bocas del Toro. It's very unpredictable and it kind
Hmm.
of rains a lot. I mean, you're right in the middle of Panama. There's rainforest there, and they don't have even like a true rainy season. I think it's technically the winter when it rains more, but it could rain at any time, and it rains hard. Like I said, rainforest vibes. It comes down hard. So we had some days where we wanted to go to the beach or something, and the rain just kind of made that impossible.
Wow, interesting.
So.
So in like just some days it would just totally mess up your entire vibe, basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But that's okay because there were lots of fun bars and restaurants in the town. So we would just hang out there. You know, made a really good relationship with the people at the local sports bar. So that was really fun. Um, what else did we do? When it was nice out, we went scuba diving. There's really good scuba diving there. There's coral reefs. It's actually home to Panama's first national marine park. So it's got protected coral reefs, seagrass beds, mangroves, and the region's really biologically diverse. So one of the most biologically diverse in the world. So it's got lots of marine life, dolphins, sea turtles. It also has sloths up in the
I love
trees. I never
sloths.
saw one, but there's some sloths. Um, so yeah, scuba diving. We also rode ATVs through the jungle. Um, now, Jack, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but
Okay.
I haven't really told anyone. But
Okay.
Alita and I did flip an ATV when we were driving through the jungle. Like it
Like you
flipped
guys were on
over.
it together?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit.
It
What
flipped
happened?
over. We kind of broke it. And then this guy, he was like an Afro Caribbean, like Rastafarian dude. Like we were
Uh-huh.
right by his house. He was kind of like a polo hermit type of guy. Like he just had a house by himself, like on the beach that we just happened to be next to when we flipped this thing.
Interesting.
And he came out and just like helped us fix up the ATV, get it started, and then we rode it back because we were on our way back to being done, and then we dropped it off, and they didn't notice. I think when we dropped it off, it was kind of the opposite of your situation. Like they didn't notice
That you were
like the
injured?
ATV. Yeah, they didn't notice. Well, weren't even really injured, but the ATV itself had a lot of scratches and like things falling off. But the guy just kind of looked at it. He's like, huh, like one of the mirrors was like falling off. He's like, oh, you just assumed that was like that already. He's like, all right, it's fine. I was like, okay, see ya.
Oof, nice. Wait, so how did you flip it? Were you just like a sharp turn? Did you hit a rock or?
Yeah, it was kind of like a sharp turn, and then there was a little ditch sort of thing, like on the side of the road that we kind of like fell into, but it
Oh,
wasn't too deep or anything. Like we were all good. We were wearing our helmets, so that was nice. But yeah, we were fine. But the ATV was a little banged up.
that is kind of exciting though. That is kind of cool.
It was, and then the dude who helped us, we were like, because like we wouldn't have been able to get this thing to start again without this dude's help. Because he's like, don't worry, like I've used these things, like I know how to get it working.
Oh, cool.
And we knew where his house was, and we had bikes. So the next day we were like, let's buy something for that guy, like and give him a gift. Like we'll go to his house, we'll ride our bikes and give him a gift. And we're like, wait, what would he want? We were like, alcohol? Like, I don't, maybe not, because he's like Rastafarian or something. Like they don't, and they're, Rastafarians don't eat a lot of food, right? I think they're like vegan or something. So I don't want to get him like some meat or whatever, no alcohol. So we just got him a bunch of fruit. Like everyone eats fruit, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So we were on our way biking to bring this guy his gift of fruit, and we just run into him. Like he was on his own bike, and we see him on our bikes, like on the way to his house. We're like, "Oh, sir, hey, wait, we got you this fruit, and it's in these bags." And he doesn't even say a word. He just takes the fruit, puts it in his like basket of his bike, and just rides off. We're like, "All right, job well done."
He's like, yeah, you should have. Like, why didn't you have
Yeah.
fruit in the beginning? This isn't
I was like, "Do
triple
you even
A.
remember?" Like, I was like, "Do you even remember us? Do you know why we're giving you this fruit?" Like, he didn't really like acknowledge. Maybe he said like one. He was like, "Huh." He didn't really like speak English, but he was just like, and just like, "All right." He was a man of few words.
Maybe just you guys look all the same to him, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, is that normal? He's like, "Oh, people just always give me fruit when I'm riding around town. Like, this is a normal occurrence." Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Or maybe that's just like that is the currency, you know? Like, yes, I
Yeah.
gave you 4 mangoes of service.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, actually, you shorted me. Like you owe me two more watermelons. Like that was kind of a big job, so you owe me a watermelon for this.
Watermelons I feel like could be like pretty valuable. Well, I don't know. Like if I was accepting payment in fruit, would I want to accept payment in fruit of like big fruits, like a water? Because if I have to accept like 3 watermelons, like how am I supposed to carry all these watermelons back to my spot? Like I probably want like
No, that's
kiwis or something.
that's true. That is an inconvenient fruit to give someone. So we didn't do that. We did focus on small fruits for him. Um,
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, so biking is a huge thing there. I mean, yeah, there are roads on the main island, but not a lot of people have cars. It's just not really a car culture. So if anything,
I
people
love
ride
that.
bikes. Like that's sort of, so it's bikes and water taxis. Those are two modes of transportation, I'd say, for the most part, which is super chill. A lot of good surfing there. I actually went surfing. It's one of the only places I've gone surfing.
Cool.
Um, so that was fun. Um, Trying to think of what else we did there that's of note.
Did
They
you
had a reggae night. Yeah, what's up?
did you explain how you got there,
No.
transportation wise?
So you have to fly into Panama City,
Okay.
which is the not Panama City, Florida, but Panama City, Panama,
Been to
which is
both.
the cap. What?
We've been to both.
No. Yes, we have been to both. So Panama City, it's the capital of Panama. It's the largest city in Central America. So you fly into there. They have two airports actually, and one of them is a bigger international airport, but one of them is a smaller local airport, and that's the one that flies to Bocas del Toro. They have smaller airplanes that fly there, and when you land in Bocas, you're like right in the town already. So we didn't even get a taxi or transportation from the airport. We literally just walked. Talk about dragging your suitcase in a weird place. Like we dragged our suitcase. It was like a 15, 20-minute walk to our spot in town. But yeah, we just walked right from the airport.
That's a vibe, though. I don't know if I've ever done that. Airport walk? Damn.
It was a vibe, yeah. Sometimes that happens in smaller places like this, but yeah, that's what we did. There were people, of course, there were taxi drivers there that were like taxi, and I was like, I don't know, I just looked it up on Google Maps. Like I think we can just walk, so that's what we did.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, I would totally choose that.
Yeah, so it was awesome. Definitely recommend checking it out. Even though it does rain sometimes, when the weather is nice, it's total paradise. There's just so many islands to go explore. A lot of them, like I said, there's like no one there. Maybe there's like a couple restaurants or bars that are on the beach and you can hang out. Yeah, we had a great time there. Really friendly people that are local, to the town. Very
Hmm.
welcoming of tourists and travelers because it's just there's always constantly people traveling in and out of the town and they don't seem to mind. I think they enjoy the tourism and the money that it brings them. So yeah, it was a great spot.
So, would you say it's touristy or more traveler oriented with the hostels and kind of the vibe? Like, is
More
it touristy
yeah.
for? Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'd say more traveler vibes. It's not like a super touristy like Cancun selling T-shirts everywhere. It's more catered to travelers.
Do Panamanians go there for vacation? Would you consider it like you know, local people are there enjoying as well, or more like
Yeah,
foreigners?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's a good mix of both, which made it really cool.
That is awesome. I love tropical places like that.
Yeah. No, it was fun. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have on Bocas. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff, but that's just that's what I could think of in this moment in time. So yeah,
But Steve, now this is where you had the pig feet, right?
yes. And if you haven't heard that story, I think it's on our like first or second episode, right?
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the story of me eating pig's feet in Bocas del Toro and ending up in the hospital and having chronic nosebleeds. I don't need to tell the full story again, but hey, they have a decent hospital in Bocas, even though it's on an island. They saved my life by giving me a shot in my ass.
Love that when a shot in your ass saves you.
Shot in the ass, tampons in the nose, and I was good to go.
Yeah, usually only people get a kick in the butt, but Steve got a shot in the ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good times. All right. Anything else on Bocas that you want to hear about, Jack, or should we?
I mean, I love the idea of being able to jump off my back porch into the water. I mean, I feel like I would just do that. I would like try to take a meeting, like put my laptop on the porch and be in the water. Like, probably sounds incredibly unnecessary, but I would love to do that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we did. Literally during the workday, if we needed a break, go jump in the water for a little bit, maybe do some snorkeling. It was incredible. That's why we went there. Like we saw that that was an option that you could live in a house like that, and we're like, okay, we're only going if we can get a place that's on the water. And sure enough, we found one on Airbnb and booked it, and yeah, we did it.
We might touch on this in a future episode, but I feel like me and you have talked about this off stream, where sometimes I know you like to choose a place that you want to go based on, oh wow, this is a really cool Airbnb experience, so I'm going to go to this country, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. I think that's what happened here. Like Boca's Town, we loved it. We loved living there. Like I would
Yeah.
definitely go back, even if I'm not in that type of Airbnb experience, but that was what drove us there, is being able to live literally on the water. Like that was an amazing experience that I'll never forget.
Yeah, that is so cool, honestly. It would be cool if you had like your own scuba gear also there. Just pop that shit on. I don't know if I'd want to do that by myself, but like pop that on, get in for a sec.
Yeah. We had snorkels. We had our own snorkels, so that's the next best thing.
No, that is good. And snorkeling's a little more cash. To be honest, this is another topic, but I actually do like snorkeling quite a bit. I think it's one of the most underrated water sports.
It's very chill. And yeah, scuba can be like, this is my complaint about skiing too, is there's like too much gear. Like you
Yeah,
go through the whole process of getting ready, and then like after you're done taking everything off, it's like you spend just as much time preparing than actually doing the activity. Like it's similar to skiing in that way, where it's just kind of like a hassle. But yeah, snorkel, you just pop that baby on your face, you're good to go.
yeah, 100%, honestly. Yeah, it's like waiting in the airport. You wait in the airport longer than you actually fly. Like that's scuba diving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now, free diving is cool. No, no gear really there, except you got to wear like a weird looking wetsuit. But other than that, like,
Yeah, and you might die, but other than that, it's fine.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah. All right, good episode. We'll we were supposed to have a guest today. Maybe that guest will join us at some point later today, and maybe we'll record another episode. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Now, Steve, one last thing. Did you ever make like a Marco Polo joke with this Polo Beach guy?
No.
Or,
Oh, dude, maybe that's why they named him Polo. I never really asked, but or maybe that's just his name. But that the jokes write themselves there.
yeah, I'm bringing it up now because I was kind of like I didn't like want to like take a potential joke from you if you were gonna like mention that like in your
Damn.
description. But
No.
now that we're closing, I just wanted to bring it up. Like it made me think of
That's
that.
That's good. We should have like yelled out Marco when we were looking for him on his beach, and then he's like, "Polo, right here." That's good. That's good.
Maybe it was that guy that you saw who you paid the coconuts to or whatever. Like,
He seemed like based on what the way people described Polo, it seemed like this guy was him, but it wasn't on Polo Beach. So I'm not sure who that guy was, but he's a legend. Shout out that guy.
yeah, yeah, that is. I would love to have a beach named after me. I feel like that would be a pretty big honor. Like, I have all the things I could have named after me, like a street, a mountain, a beach. I think I'd want a beach. Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah, like a mountain, it's like, oh, you conquered this mountain, we're gonna name it after you, or you discovered. But like a beach, it's like you're just a chill guy, so we're gonna name this beach after you for being chill.
Yeah, like, oh, this beach is incredible. Like, really calm water. Like, this is this is you.
This is Jack. This is Jack Beach right here.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
All right. Well, that's all I have for today.
And that's actually all I have as well. Wow.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody.
Take a weird trip. Thank you.